Good morning. Once again, I welcome you to the SYBA English General lecture. In this lecture, we are going to discuss register and style. So, we have to understand the concept called register and the concept called styles. Dear students, you know that speakers choose to speak in particular way depending upon the circumstances or occasion. It means that all the time speakers are not going to use the same way during the conversation. There cannot be a conversation in the same fashion all the time. It means that the situation or the occasion is going to determine or decide what type of or what way the speaker is going to select for speaking. So style or way of delivering a content or conversation can be either formal or informal. So we know that the speaker may use formal words in certain situations, in certain occasions or in certain cases, and sometimes speakers can be informal. So selection of formal and informal words or selection of formal and informal language is determined by three aspects. That is purpose of conversation. Second one is target audience or the listeners, the nature of listeners, their social background, their education, their culture, their age, their sex, their religion. These things are important. And we are also consider the occasion. So purpose of communication, then listeners background or target audience, and the third one is a situation or the occasion. So these three things determine whether the speaker is going to be a formal or informal at the time of conversation, during the conversation. So we can understand some examples of formal conversation. So formal conversation or formal style is used during meetings. It can be used during delivering a lecture. It can be used at the time of delivering public speech, or an interview is also an example of formal type of conversation. So informal style is used in most friendly situation or in casual situations. Then when speakers, so we have to understand what is the register. So when speakers use particular set of linguistic elements for definite occupation or social uses, we have register of the language. When the speakers use definite set of linguistic elements for definite occupational or social uses, we have register of the language. It means that the speaker uses a particular set of linguistic elements. So linguistic elements can be syntax, it can be vocabulary, it can be morphology, it can be phonology. So particular segment is selected by the speaker in particular profession or particular occupation, and we call it as a register. So in each profession, people use a language that is distinct from one another in terms of structure, in terms of morphology, in terms of rules of grammar, in terms of phonology. It means that each occupation or every occupation is distinct from one another as far as the uses of language is concerned, and the differences can be noticed in the components like syntax, or we call it as a structure, then grammar, then vocabulary, then phonology and morphology. So people from particular occupation who communicate frequently with one another. Suppose there is a particular profession or occupation and the people they are interacting with one another on a regular basis. They are interacting with one another or each other every day, and due to the continuous interaction between them, they develop a similar vocabulary, they develop a common syntax, there can be a common morphology, and there can be some sort of common phonological element. So regular interaction between the group of the speakers who work together, or they were engaged in particular profession. So out of their interaction, out of their daily interaction with one another or each other, a new type of words are developed, new types of vocabulary will be there, and there will be some sort of morphological rules, there will be sort of some phonological elements, and these things are important to understand what is register. So register deals with a particular occupational use of language, in which in each occupation there are certain words, there are certain grammatical rules which emerge due to continuous interaction between the users of language. So the examples you can come across both of formal and informal. The speakers may use both type of expressions at the time of conversation. So as I already mentioned, the use of formal and informal language, or use of formal and informal consonant, is largely determined by the relationship between the speakers and the listeners. It is also determined by the nature of listeners. It is also determined by the nature of the message. It is also determined by the objective of communication or conversation. So speaker can be formal in certain situations, and speakers or users can be informal in certain situations. So register is a sort of language that is used in particular profession or particular occupation, because out of daily interaction between, it develops out of daily interaction between the users or communicators. So after discussing what is the register, we are going to talk about what is style. The style is the way in which speaker speaks a particular language. It means the way the speaker uses a particular language, we have to call it a style. So the choice of words, then connotations, then appropriacy are some of the components of style. So there can be different types of vocabulary used by the speakers, there can be different sort of connotations. We know the denotations and connotations. Then there will be the appropriacy. The speakers varies. At the time of conversation, each speaker uses different style, different tone at the time of speaking. Then, as I already mentioned earlier, the nature of the message. Then communicators, the listeners, they also determine what type of style the speaker is going to use. So there can be different selection of words in one situation, there will be another words for other situations. So there is difference between formal and informal style. So formal and informal style are the most commonest styles that are used by any speakers. So formal, what is formal? So formal, informal, first we are going to discuss what is formal. So informal, everything is formal. It means that the speakers are not going to use or ignore grammatical component. Speakers are not going to use abbreviations. Speakers are not going to use slang. So in formal conversation, everything will be formal. There will be appropriate use of words. There will be appropriate vocabulary. The speakers will try to be away from or stay away from slangs. He will not follow deletions. He will not use abbreviations during the conversation. As against it, there is informal style. So in informal style, no doubt there will be the grammatical rules will be followed, the grammatic structure will be there, syntactic element will be there. But the speakers do not give much importance to use of formal words. The speakers may use slang, slang, or some words can be abbreviated by the speakers. Sometimes some words can be deleted by the speakers. For example, instead of saying gymnasium, gymnasium is formal word. So instead of saying gymnasium, speaker may say gym. In informal situation, the speaker will use word like gym. Then in informal situation, speaker will use word like exam. In informal situation, the speaker may delete or speaker may abbreviate words. For example, instead of saying doctor, he may say doc. Instead of saying principal, he may say prin. So this sort of deletion, this sort of aberrations can be there in informal situations. So in formal situation, there will be no abbreviations. There will be there won't be a deletion of some words or deletion of some certain sounds. The grammatical rules will be strictly followed, and the speakers has less freedom. On the contrary, in informal situations, speaker exercises freedom. He may use slang, he may shorten the word, he may omit certain sounds, or he may abbreviate the word. So instead of saying information, he may say info. So this sort of deletions, abbreviations is allowed in informal conversations. So two styles are important, formal and informal. And as I already told you, once again I would like to repeat it. So use of formal and informal style depends upon the nature of the message, the relationship between the listener and the speakers, target audience, their social background, their educational background, then their cultural background, their age, their sex. These are important. Then also the speaker has to consider the objective of communication, the occasion of the communication, of the circumstances of the communications. So when there will be the formal situation, the speaker is expected to use formal words only, and when there will be informal situations, speaker can be both formal and informal. So there can be he can use slangs, he can abbreviate the words, and he can delete the words. As far as the style is concerned, that is a formal and informal, the culture plays important role. The speaker should be aware of cultural differences. In English, pronoun you. So pronoun you in English is both formal and informal. It can be a polite and it can be a friendly. So that is not the case with Hindi. In Hindi, there are two different pronouns, that is tu, ya tum, ya aap. In English, you is both polite, and it means it is a formal and it is informal. So we say you to all persons. But as far as the other language is concerned, Hindi is concerned, in Hindi there are two sort of pronoun used for addressing the second person pronoun, that is tum and aap. So culture is important. So we have to understand the culture. The cultural context is also essential to use the word. So tum in Hindi is informal. It is impolite. On the contrary, aap in Hindi is formal. So it is more polite. So speaker should consider these sort of cultural differences. Then in German, do is used only for the people with the speaker has a close relations. It means that there will be intimate relationship between the speakers and the listener, and in such situations, they are going to use words like do. In English, you is both polite and impolite. It can be formal and informal. In Hindi, tum is informal, aap is formal, but in Germany, do, it is used only when the speaker can use it when the speaker has a close relationship or intimate relationship or the friendly relationship with the receiver or the listener. So these things are important. As I already told you, the relationship between the speaker and listener, then situation or the occasion, type of message, then the background of the target audience of the listener, that is also important to use style that can be a formal or informal. Martin Joos. Martin Joos. So Martin Joos has given 5 categories of style. These 5 great categories have been placed or written in the blackboard. We can see it here. What are the 5 categories? The first one is frozen, second one is formal, third one is consultative, fourth one is casual, and the fifth one is intimate. So Martin Joos has categorized or told us or given us the 5 different styles that can be used by the speakers in different situations. The first one is frozen style. So frozen style is also called as static. It is called as static. It means that there will be no change during the conversation on the part of the speaker. Speaker is going to use the same language, same type of conversation. That is why it is called as static. It is not a dynamic, it is a static. Then it is a monotonous. Second thing is that about the frozen style, it is monotonous. So there will be no change in pitch, there will be no change in rhythm, there will be no change in stress. So there will be a monotony as far as the speaking is concerned. The speaker uses the monotone. His style will be monotonous, and this style is called as a frozen or static. In this style, the speaker utters sentences or his utterances in a ritualistic manner, as if he is reading or as if he is uttering a certain sort of religious verses, or we call it a mantra. So this style is monotonous and it is ritualistic, as if he is using the words, or he is uttering the sentences from religious text or religious book. Then the second style is formal. So a formal style is used in formal communication. Already we have talked in detail about what is formal and what is informal. So formal style is used in formal communication. Remember, it is one-way communication. So in formal style there is one-way communication. Only the speakers are going to speak and listeners are going to be a listener. The listeners cannot take part in conversations. So listeners are not going to give response to the speakers. That is why it is called as one-way conversation or one-way communication. Only the speakers is going to speak, listeners are going to listen, and there will be no disturbance from the listeners. Listeners are not going to disturb the speaker at any point. It means that they are not going to be interact with the listener. So this is not interactive sort of process. This is a one-way process. Listeners are going to listen only. They are not going to be speaker at any point. And it has fixed structure. The structure of the sentence pattern is fixed, and it uses technical vocabulary. So its vocabulary is sort of number of technical terms are used in formal style. According to Martin Joos, the formal style is one-way communication. So it comprises technical words or technical vocabulary, and it has a fixed structure, and there is no disturbance from the part of listener. Listeners do not disturb the speaker. The next, third one is consultative. So consultative is two-way conversation. It is against the formal conversation. According to Martin Joos, the consultative style is different from formal style. In consultative style, being a two-way communication, as already mentioned, it is a two-way communication. It means that the listeners are going to take part in conversation. They are going to interact with the speakers. So they are going to disturb the speakers. The speakers will be disturbed by the listeners. there will be sort of interaction between the listeners and the speakers. So that is why it is called as consultative styles. Then the speakers are aware of the background of informations. So whatever will be their conversation between the speakers and listeners, they know against what background their conversation is going on, what type of conversation has been developed between them, and what type of background is there. The speakers are aware of it. The next style is, the fourth one is casual. The casual style of conversation is used with friends. So it is a friendly sort of conversation. There will be less formality, there will be informality. So being a friendly conversation, the speakers are not going to use here formal words. Instead, the speakers may use informal words, or slang can be used, or abbreviations can be used, or deletions can be used. It is used with acquaintances and family members. So interruption or disturbance is the common thing in casual conversation. So casual conversation is used in family, casual conversation is at the time of interacting with friends, and in casual conversation there is going to be disturbance. Both the listeners are going to disturb the speakers, they are going to interact with the speakers at any time. Then, as I told earlier, informal style, being a conversation with a friend, so slang can be used. So there can be abbreviations, there can be deletions, some words can be shortened at the time of conversation. So there will be this sort of things. The informality will be there more than the formality. So the last one is intimate. So intimate style is used for very private or non-public discourse. It means it is used only for private affairs. It is not used for public discourse or public conversation. So in intimate, intonation plays important role. So intonation refers to there can be rising tone, there can be falling tone, or there can be both falling and rising tone. The stress, intonation, these things are important in intimate style. The speakers use this style the speakers use this sort of style for a very private or non-public discourse. So choice of words, vocabulary or grammar are also important here. The speakers may use different type of vocabulary, the speaker may use different type of grammatical structure. So intimate style includes non-verbal messages. This is the one of the most peculiar characteristics of intimate style. In intimate style, the participants can use non-verbal. Participants can be non-verbal, or there will be more use of non-verbal messages during the conversation. It means that all the times participants or the speakers are not going to make use of words. Instead of words, they are going to use their body language, they are going to use some gestures, they are going to use postures or eye contact for the conversations. So in this lecture, in this video, we talked about what is register, what is style, what are the different type of styles, and what are the different 5 categories discussed by Martin Joos. Thank you very much.